What's going on, guys? It's your boy Scrub here, back again with another video. Hope you guys are having a great day. I know I am. And today, ladies and gentlemen, I've got quite the story time for y'all. I think weddings are supposed to be a very joyous occasion. You know, weddings are supposed to be something that makes you go, wow, what a beautiful day to be alive. But someone sent in a story time to me where the dad at a wedding apparently just decided to ruin it for everybody. I don't know why you would want to ruin your kid's wedding. It seems like taking one of the most important days of their lives and pooping all over it, but apparently that was this guy's decision. And I'm sorry if the audio sounds a little weird right now. I'm redoing my setup, so it might be a little more echoey. I'm working on it. It won't be like this forever, I promise. Okay, so thankfully the person who sent this in to me wasn't the person getting married. That would kind of suck, but he did happen to be in the wedding party. It was one of his friends he had known for a while. He had been dating his girlfriend since the beginning of college. It was the end of college. They had decided to get married. Pretty standard timing on all that. And when he was asked to be in the wedding party, he was like, sweet, they're a fun couple, this is gonna be a great wedding. But he knew something was a little bit off when his friend asked him to be in the wedding and decided to warn him about his dad right away. Just kind of a weird situation, you know, supposed to be asking someone to be in your wedding, super joyous occasion, and you're like, oh, by the way, just so you know, my dad is a little bit nuts. He literally told his friend that his dad has a way of trying to make everything about himself and is super dramatic. So if he was willing to put up with that, he could still be in the wedding. And since it was his friend, he was like, of course I'll be in your wedding. How bad could your dad possibly be? Especially on his kid's wedding day, you know? There's no way he's gonna be over dramatic and try to ruin that. But his friend literally reassured him about how crazy his dad is. Even when he was saying that, he was like, listen, man, trust me. Every important event of my life, this guy has gone out of his way to make it about him somehow. It's like he just does not have the ability to let other people have attention. And he starts talking about how at his high school graduation, the person reading the names had said his last name wrong because it's a very uncommon last name. And he wasn't really offended because people said it wrong all the time. This person's reading a ton of names at this ceremony, it is what it is. But his dad had literally charged the stage from the crowd of parents and started trying to fight the person who said the name wrong because obviously they had done it on purpose and done it to try to embarrass his son, ruined his graduation. And listen, man, I get it. It would suck if you've worked this hard and when you graduate, people say your name wrong. That would suck. But I don't know if it's really charge them and try to fight them over it. What, did you just expect them to know how to pronounce everyone's name at any given time, just always? Plus, if you're talking about a normal graduation, if someone's gonna be reading hundreds of names, they're gonna get one wrong. Let's be honest here, all right? Trust me, I talk for 20 minutes in a video. How many words do I pronounce wrong on average? 700 of them? I don't know how many words I even say in a video. But still, I feel like charging the stage and trying to fight someone for saying your name wrong is ridiculous, especially at a graduation. Everyone's there. Oh, wow, my child has worked so hard. It's finally time for their hard work to be completed. Oh, it's gonna be such a joyous occasion. You're just there beating the crap out of the guy trying to read everyone's names. Just go ahead and ruin everybody's graduation. You think anybody talks about the ceremony? No, everybody talks about that one dad that went ballistic and tried to fight the vice principal. Either way, he was kind of all right, we'll see. And they started helping him plan the bachelor party, that type of stuff. And one thing he noticed is that this guy's dad was not involved in planning anything. And it's not his wedding, it's not his place to say anything, so he just kind of drops it. I don't know, some people don't have super tight relationships with their parents. It's not that big of a deal, who cares? But his dad was going to be coming to everything. So he's kind of confused because everybody that was attending was involved in planning it except for his dad. And so he kind of asked his friend one day, hey, if your dad's coming, shouldn't we ask him what his opinions are? And the kid was like, no, we're not going to ask my dad what his opinions are because trust me, he will find a way to make it all about him and it's my bachelor party, so we're not doing that. And he's like, all right, fair enough, cool, I get you. So the day of the bachelor party comes and he still hasn't met this dude's dad yet, and obviously they're all excited. It's going to be a fun time, and they were going to go to this like a golf place where they serve drinks, hang out there for a little bit, and then go somewhere else. And then one of them had like booked out some time at the shooting range where they were going to rent a machine gun and test it. Like just normal or bachelor party stuff. I don't know. I feel like that's stuff that like I've seen a lot of people do for their bachelor party. So he gets there and all of his other friends are really cool. They already kind of knew each other, but his dad shows up and he immediately realized that his friend had not been exaggerating how much his dad just loves to make things about himself, because he like swings the door open all dramatically. And so everyone looks over and there's no one there. And then music starts playing, the beginning of Thunderstruck by AC/DC. And then this old man walks in an all white suit, like head to toe, raises his hands and goes, "The party's arrived." Keep in mind, everybody else is in like t-shirt, jeans, very casual attire. None of them had a musical entrance, but this guy just went above and beyond. And it's like not his party and nobody knew the guy. Listen, maybe that would be funny if you knew everybody really well and it was like an inside joke or something, but I don't know what I would think of someone if this was my first impression of them, is them like having a big musical entrance to a party that's not for them. Even if it was for them, I would cringe a little bit if someone like kicked open the door, ran away from the door, turned on the music, and then walked in. Because think about it, he had to have been standing in front of the door to open it. So he opened it, ran away, turned up the volume on the music, played it, and then made his entrance. And when you start thinking about it that way, it just gets a lot more cringe, you know? Like when you start thinking about the fact that like a TikTok, somebody set their phone up and then lip synced to a song and then posted it, and you think about the process of making it, it gets a lot cringier. That was this guy's entrance, basically. But whatever, they all end up doing this like golf thing, and the dad is talking all this smack when they get there about how he's gonna hit the ball further than everyone and they're just gonna be embarrassed, so they might as well go home now. And listen, I get some people just like to talk crap. I'm one of those people. It's just kind of fun. But you have to have like a friendship with somebody before you start friendly talking crap with them. If you just start doing it to strangers, it comes off a little bit aggressive, man. Like imagine I'm just playing Valorant, this kid says, "Oh, they're on B," and I'm like, "How about you stop being so annoying, all right, you little turd?" Like, it's just uncalled for, man. If I do that to Dark Dom, no one cares. It's just normal. Anyways, the other caveat is, like, if you're gonna talk crap, especially about a sport or a skill or something, you better be able to back it up, you know? Like, that's the one rule. If you say that you're gonna destroy me on the basketball court and you're like a 7-footer who can dunk, I'm all right with you saying that. It doesn't bug me. Talk trash about it all day. What am I gonna do? Stop you from dunking? But if you're gonna be talking about how you're gonna smack this golf ball further than Tiger Woods, you're gonna get a PGA contract, then you better be able to step up and just smack the crap out of this golf ball. So everybody gets their hits in, and every time someone's hitting the ball, his dad is like, "Oh, you guys don't even know how to hit this ball. Come on, hit it like you mean it. What is this? I didn't realize I was at the bachelorette party." Like, just being a jerk, bro. So whatever, he gets up to hit it, and everybody's kind of egging him on a little bit, being like, "All right, man, you better smack this thing. You've been talking a lot of crap. Let's see it." And he goes up, and I don't know if you guys have ever seen the movie Happy Gilmore. It's an old Adam Sandler movie. Absolute classic. If you haven't seen it, go see it. But anyways, it's about a hockey player that switches to golf, and he has this funny swing. And he tries to do like the Happy Gilmore swing. Only issue is I don't think he had ever actually tried to practice it before. I don't think he had ever actually played golf before, because he hits the ball, but it goes like 3 feet, which is extra embarrassing in any situation. But when you're doing the Happy Gilmore, like running up, getting a huge burst of speed before you hit the ball, and it only goes 3 feet, it's even funnier. And so obviously the rest of the bachelor party, upon seeing this, starts to laugh, because what else are you going to do in this situation? Someone starts talking all this crap about how, you know, they're going to be so much better than you and you guys suck, and then they just fail. You're gonna laugh. But the dad does not like that everybody at this bachelor party is laughing at him. He literally crosses his arms and is like, "Well, that's not very nice." And listen, man, sure, laughing at people isn't nice, but at the same time, talking crap isn't nice either. And even then, what are you, like 52 years old? You're gonna fold your arms like a toddler and start throwing a fit? It would bug me if a toddler did that, bro, but it's really gonna bug me if some 55-year-old man is like, my feelings got hurt. All right, man, well, guess what? You had 50 years of getting your feelings hurt to learn how to cope with that. It's not my problem. But whatever, everybody keeps laughing, and a few people think he's joking about like crossing his arms and throwing a fit, but he starts saying that like this is dumb, he's not having any fun, they should just get out of here, he doesn't know why they're here anyways. But everybody else is having themselves a good time. Everybody else is like enjoying it, being able to smack a golf club more than 3 feet. They had just gotten there, and it was one of those things where like you booked a booth for a certain amount of time, so they were gonna be there for a few hours, but the dad is having none of it and is now literally throwing a fit, saying that they have to leave right now because he's not having fun. And listen, man, even if it is your party, if you've just got there and you've only been there for 10 minutes and you have it booked for 2 hours, you just deal with it. But especially if it's not your party, you just shut up. No one's saying you have to love it here, but it's your kid's bachelor party, not yours. Your opinion on where you should go and what you should do doesn't really matter that much. You know, I get it, you're the parent or whatever, but imagine demanding that someone just stops their party and goes elsewhere because, I just am not having a good time here. And the son's not having any of it, and he's like, no, we're not leaving, we just got here, I'm having fun. You don't have to golf, but just relax. And the dad's like, I don't want to relax, this isn't fun to me, I can't believe that this is your idea of a good time, we need to leave now, or this is just the lamest bachelor party ever. And the son just looks at his dad and is like, well then I guess it's the lamest bachelor party ever and I'm enjoying it, so whatever, we're not leaving. And the dad threatens his son at that point and is like, well, if we don't leave, then I'm gonna leave. And he's like, all right. And the dad picks up his keys and goes to leave. And the subscriber who sent this to me is just kind of sitting there in shock, like he's not actually gonna leave, right? Like this is just some big elaborate like feint and he's gonna come back in, he's trying to pressure us to leave. But no, the dude actually ditches his son's bachelor party because they wouldn't leave the second he decided to not have any fun because he had been talking a bunch of crap he couldn't back up. Like, yeah, that's obviously an embarrassing situation, but you want to know how you could have avoided this embarrassing situation? Not talked a bunch of crap about a skill you don't have, you know? Believe it or not, if I was like on a fishing trip with a bunch of people and I didn't know how to fish, I would just say, hey guys, I'm kind of new, so if you could help me out, I'd appreciate it. I wouldn't go around telling all of them that I basically am Percy Jackson and I'm the greatest fisherman of all time, because I'm just not. Like, I feel like talking a bunch of crap before performing a sport that you've never played before just makes no sense. Oh yeah, man, I'm the best driver of all time. You've never driven a car? Like, why would you even set yourself up for failure? Especially talking crap to everyone else. It's not like he's only hyping up his own skills, but you start tearing everybody down, of course they're gonna laugh at you when you fail. But that's just the type of attitude that this guy's dad had about this wedding and all these festivities. Literally left the bachelor party because he just didn't feel like it was fun for him. And obviously that's nuts, but they end up enjoying the rest of the bachelor party. It doesn't seem to bug the son too much, probably because, like he said, he was used to it. The guy did it at everything, so it just didn't really work on him anymore. Like, the guilt trip had become so ineffective because it had been overdone. But whatever, everybody just kind of ignores it, doesn't talk about it. And the day of the wedding comes, and the person who sent this to me is obviously aware that the dad is going to do some type of antic at this wedding because he couldn't even just enjoy the bachelor party for 15 minutes. Anyways, the wedding comes, and it's pretty okay, everything's fine, there's no disruptions during the ceremony, it's going really well, and then it gets to the point at the reception when everybody is gonna give the speeches. And thus far, to be honest, the subscriber had been kind of surprised the dad hadn't been more of like a problem causer. See, I missaid a word, oh well. You would just think after the golf thing that he wouldn't be able to keep it together through the ceremony, you know? Does anyone have a reason they shall not be wed? Speak now or forever hold your peace. He's just like, I love them, think they're a great couple, they should get married, like just to get some attention. That's what he was expecting, but thankfully he didn't do anything like that. But then it gets to the point in the night where everybody has to give their speeches. And so the bride's father went first, and he gives this very nice speech about how, like, it's been an honor to watch her grow up and blah, 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 blah. And she's a beautiful young woman, and she made a great choice in her husband because he's a great guy, and he couldn't be happier to have him in the family. Like a very sweet, traditional wedding speech. Because obviously, it's too late now. You're at the party after the wedding. At this point, you just kind of got to embrace that they're together. I guess technically, you could freak out and say, no, I hate this during the speech, but then you're just going to ruin the mood and make your relationship with that person awkward because you just hate their husband now. And they actually did get along. Like, he got along with her family. But then it's his dad's turn. And he gets up and starts being like, oh, this is such a great couple. They're so awesome. He had never even hung out with them together, so they don't really know what he's talking about. Whatever, he's just doing the generic speech thing. And then he starts going on and on about his son and how all of the good qualities that his son has are obviously from him and his side of the family. And his parents had been divorced because, you know, his mom didn't really want to have to deal with his dad all the time. So obviously it was pretty insulting because his mom is there when he starts going on about how, like, oh yeah, all the bad stuff that he has is from his mom. All the good stuff is from me. It's just not a very funny joke because they didn't like each other. There was a bunch of tension. So it'd be the equivalent of like going to a party. Someone's there that you really don't like and then kind of roasting them on the microphone. So the mom and her family isn't very happy. And so one of the mom's family members goes up to take the microphone. And the dad pulls the microphone away and says that the groom's mom is a sea hag at her son's wedding, and then starts roasting his old family-in-law. Because obviously, if he had been married to her and her family's there, technically they used to be family. And he starts going off about how her brothers haven't been arrested and da-da-da-da-da. And how they're all just like garbage people and blah, 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 blah. And listen, I don't know the mom's family. Maybe they are garbage people. But even then, it's not the time to do this at a wedding on the microphone when you're supposed to be giving a speech. And especially not if you're the dad of the groom, like he's really out here, you know, trying to cause a disruption. This isn't a Comedy Central roast, it's your kid's wedding. I feel like there had to have been a better time to sit there and be like, when can I call out my ex-wife and her family? Plus, if you guys have been apart for a while, it's kind of weird you're still that mad, you know? I'm not saying everybody should love their ex-wife or whatever, but if you haven't been together for like 20 years and you're still harboring as much anger as day one, I don't know, man. Eventually you just gotta move on, right? Like him roasting her brothers, dude. What, your former brother-in-law's 20 years ago? Like what happened that made you so angry that you're still hanging on to that? At this point though, it's getting out of control, and obviously the groom, the friend of the subscriber, is not gonna let his dad do this at his wedding, like make it get out of control, turn it into this huge thing. No one wants that to happen at their wedding. So he goes to take the microphone from his dad, thinking that like, okay, my dad's gonna give me the microphone if I tell him to relax because it's my wedding. And so he goes over and says, give me the microphone. And the dad is like, no, I'm not gonna give it to you. And so the son says something along the lines of like, well, it's my wedding, so you're going to give me the microphone. Like, I don't care if you want to, you're going to give it to me. And he goes to grab it. And the dad yells that he wouldn't be having this wedding if it wasn't for his dad because he wouldn't have been born, which like, I guess technically true, but it's not your wedding, bro. You're just the dad. And then hits his son on the forehead with the microphone. And it's one of those ones with like the metal grate around the outside that, you know, principals talk into. So obviously it hurts pretty hard. And so he falls back. And at that point, the entire wedding like gasps and starts losing their mind because it was already nuts. But when the father of the groom smacks the groom with a microphone and like knocks him over, it's not what you expect. And everybody else at the wedding, dad's side, mom's side, new family side, starts just rushing him at that point, grabs the microphone out of his hand, picks him up, and starts carrying him out of the place. And the entire time he's yelling that like they can't kick him out, it's his son's wedding, they don't have the right to do it. Keep in mind, he just attacked his son and like smacked him with the microphone, bro. If you didn't want to get kicked out of your son's wedding, you probably should have avoided the whole hitting your son with the microphone. Like, I love my parents, but yeah, if for whatever reason my dad like hits me with the microphone on my wedding day, I'm just kicking him out. You're not sticking around and hanging out with me, dude. No offense. And of course, the bride's family is like, what are you doing? The bride's crying because her groom got hurt. Oh, it's just an entire train wreck. And so the dad gets kicked out. They throw him out of there. He tries to come back in, so they kick him out again, this time a little rougher. And finally, he leaves. And so there's all this commotion, everybody trying to see if the groom's okay, what's going on. He's okay. It had just kind of caught him off guard. But yeah, the bride's family's freaking out. She's been crying. It's just a train wreck. There's tears everywhere, bro. And of course, just think about how much it sucks emotionally for your dad to destroy your wedding, dude. Like, if there's one person you think's gonna have your back on your wedding day, it's probably your parents, at least hopefully. You especially don't expect them to start attacking you with the microphone when you try to make them stop insulting the other half of your family. Listen, I haven't gotten to the part about your mom's toes yet. Like, bump hits him on the head with the mic. What was surprising to the subscriber, though, is the guy took it, like, pretty on the chin, you know? He got up and said, yeah, my dad sucks, I'm sorry, but let's just get back to partying. And obviously, some people were kind of weirded out by it and left, but, like, his close friends, the bride's family, all that stuff ended up sticking around, and he kept partying, you know? He didn't have a concussion or something. He did have a little bit of a bruise, but thankfully he didn't get smacked on the head hard enough with the microphone for like the grate of it to get emblazoned in his forehead, you know? You know how like that the metal grate, that wasn't like stapled into his head like a stamp. So it was pretty all right, but overall, yeah, his dad definitely went for the end the wedding special, and the bride was especially pissed. I mean, you know, like a very special, important day. Your new father-in-law tries to ruin your wedding. I would have been pissed too. And she was going off on the dance floor about how, like, you know, he was a jerk and she knew it was a bad idea to invite him. And it was just overall just a crazy situation. I understand everybody's got crazy parents, like some people do, not everyone, but you'd think they'd be able to hold it together for your wedding day, man. Really unfortunate that your dad decided to do this on like one of the most important days of your life, if not the most important day of your life. Crappy dad move. But kudos to everybody throwing him out. I bet you that looked like out of an 80s movie. You know when someone gets kicked out of the bar in the 80s and they just throw him out into the street? I wonder if that's how it went down. Either way, I just thought this was an insane story. I thought it would be something you guys would enjoy listening to, so that's why you're listening to it. If you enjoyed the video, I would really appreciate you taking a second to press the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments section down below, and of course, subscribe if you're new and turn on those notifications. I'm back to posting the OG videos, you know, no more compilations until 12 days of scrubs, but that will be coming in December. But if you like videos like this, subscribe if you're new, turn on noties. And yeah, hopefully I will see each and every single one of you guys next time. If you want to listen to the audio version, I do post these on Spotify, link down below. But on that note, don't get anyone pregnant. If you do, make sure they're hot, and hopefully I'll see you guys all next time. I'm out. Peace.